6:01 on August 16th of 2022. I am the creator of Love, Inspire, Teach, E, and I want to welcome you to the LITE Firestarters podcast. I think episode 16, 17, I don't know. This podcast is a pivot moment for sure. But if you are a regular listener, we appreciate you so much. If you are popping in for the first time, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and check out our merch. I left the phones over on the charging station. So we do have a studio guest. Tai is in the house. I haven't added her to the stream yet, but I am aware she's with us. Pardon me, because I did remember to live every moment, laugh every day, and love with all my heart, and make my happy hour drink, but I forgot the other phones. So pardon me while I go grab them. I just wanted to put them on the charger real quick because it's been a busy Tuesday, but that is a blessing in and of itself. So thank you for bearing with me here. The other thing I wanted to share is just that I have been doing podcasts consistently on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock as a happy hour. So I am probably about due for a little mini break. I haven't decided which day yet, but we are going to either need a guest host come September or a day off for me on a Tuesday, because it is my one weekday night that I'm not technically on parenting duty. I am on parenting duty tonight, but I am with my older child, so it's going to be a lot easier. But I just want people to get some time to get settled in. I want to go ahead and do the behind the scenes, so bear with me as I add that. Where will I start? I will start with a behind the scenes for IG. But if you follow me on my personal Facebook page, then you should know what tonight's topic is. I think I did post it on the Instagram, which usually should be connected to the business page. And what else do I have for us? It's connected to the business page, and then I do have a private audience podcast group. So if you'd like to join the LITE Firestarters private podcast group with the CEO, that one I'm more likely to jump in a brief behind the scenes or private podcast moment. The first 10 people to give me a heads up at hello@loveinspireteache.com can join our StreamYard private podcast studio, but we are going to be going in-person podcast studio at a local Black-owned business. I just have to secure some dates and get some pricing, but I did want to give you guys the heads up on that. But happy Tuesday, y'all. It's Tantalizing Tuesday. If you're in the LITE Firestarters Facebook group, it is a private Facebook group. And I have to thank everyone who's been part of it. We haven't been totally active, but it's summer. And I have to admit, a lot of my friends are busybodies like myself. So we stay quite busy. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's exhausting. Today was exhausting. But huge shout out to my co-parent. One of my co-parents who had both of my children today. So one was his and one was not. And helped me out to attend an amazing event by a top aviation company. And it was wonderful. So shout out to Chicago Urban League for publicizing that event in their newsletter. But let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is about relationships. And I honed in on the fact that this weekend there was a shooting at Great America in Gurnee. Y'all, there have been way too many shootings. So I said we would talk about relationships, but let's hone in on relationships with our friends, family, acquaintances that are of a different type of background, that may be considered ghetto fabulous, ratchet, that may be considered white trash, that may be considered bougetto, whatever title you want to give them. Let's talk about those folks and the fact that a drive-by shooting at an amusement park that parents, grandparents, children, teenagers frequent and visit is acceptable in this day and age. I know we think that we're hopefully coming out of the pandemic, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think monkey pox is as deadly. I should Google it while I'm able to. I don't think monkeypox is as deadly as COVID-19 was, Omicron, whatever version of COVID-19 coronavirus, whatever it is. I don't think it's deadly. It just looks like it makes you look crazy and it looks unpleasant. So anyone who knows a lot more about monkeypox, please catch me up because I am always overloaded and doing a lot because I am a busybody of sorts. My favorite movie is Clueless. It was the favorite movie of many 90s teenagers, okay? Because Cher and the girl we will not talk about because I don't think she represents the African American community the way most of us want to be represented, but I'm going to say her name, Stacey Dash. I know Black Republicans, but not all of them are as whatever Stacey Dash is. Anyhow. Yo, why are people shooting at Great America? My kids and I have not made our summer trip yet. We were supposed to go to London and Paris, and that got pushed to the fall for many, many reasons. But I was thinking about taking them either to Wisconsin. Michigan was not so much on the radar, but somewhere road trip wise. And I still might take them across the street to like Wolf's Crossing, Wolf's Lodge or whatever, because that's a water park as well, but it's really close to where the drive-by was. So why are people so comfortable today that we have relationships with being disrespectful? If you ever watch The Wire, every man's got to live by a code. Omar, he said every man lives by a code. You should not shoot off his grandmama's topper on church Sunday. His topper, it was her hat. There's no code. People are so disenchanted with our global economy that they have no loyalty and no respect. And what I mean by that is that I was literally in one of my favorite places. Shout out to Smokey Smoke Shop who fixed my Android screen. I've been having so many tech issues, y'all. They fixed my Android screen, but I ran into another TeMeka. Hey, I was so excited to find out. I meet lots of TeMekas. It's a wonderful name. There's a whole song, only they spell it TAMEKA. It was that little boy band. If you know the name of it, remind me, refresh me. But regardless, we were talking about how the African American community that I am part of, I'm black and yellow. Hey, all day. Not a Steelers person, but I pretend sometimes. And what else is black and yellow? There's something else black and yellow. Iowa Hawkeyes, they're black and yellow. All I know is Asian persuasion is what raised me. And I do know about my Black heritage. I learned a lot about it in college. But regardless, why people of color feel like, yes, I get we've been disrespected. I get this Android is still having issues. It keeps pausing. In any case, why people of color feel that just because you just were disrespected, you must disrespect everybody else, including the people at Great America. Why is this acceptable? Just because you go to school and you're a white boy with an automatic rifle or whatever, why do you feel it's justified for you to disrespect the whole community? So that's my topic today, relationships with people who have had negative experiences in their life, and that's all they know is negative experiences. That's their life, okay? So my questions that I wanted to get into as it relates to this, and y'all, if you're watching, thank you to my Facebook Live folks. Thank you to my IG Live folks. If you have any questions related to this, throw it out, because Drew is on the road. He said he'd pop in to listen. Tai is having tech issues as well. But why is this acceptable in this new normal? We call it the new normal. We pivoted. We're in a new normal. The Rona is now formally named COVID-19 and all its iterations. So I guess we're not doing IG Live. It happens. But why is this acceptable in this day and age? And my thoughts on it are that, let's face it, with the whole George Floyd, with the whole having President Donald Trump, who we still have congressional hearings about, people are beyond fed up in America. And then in the global world, they watch us and they're like, we're not going to America. They're crazy. And the whole world is sick. We are fed up. But does that justify misbehaving in public, in spaces where your children are trying to play and find normalcy, in spaces where we want to get a break from the fact that it's just hard to be a person in this day and age? I don't think it's excusable at all. And that's my question to you all. So if you're watching, please make sure to comment when you catch the replay, or to drag one of your Ghetto Fabulous friends on to watch this podcast with you. But I really want to understand why this has become acceptable. Snitches get stitches and all that. I grew up in Naperville, but don't get it twisted. I had to have a whole conversation with a friend about the fact that I have visited Statesville to visit my incarcerated biological father when I was in my early ages of childhood. I do recall watching my mother having to get checked. I do recall standing in line. I do recall the whole process. So most people of color and people who are considered part of the majority, Caucasian, do know people who have been incarcerated, whether petty crimes, whether white-collar crimes, whether you only have watched Orange is the New Black. We all know of people of less savory backgrounds that have not been raised by people who wanted children. Or maybe they wanted them, but they just didn't have the finances and they struggled, and it showed up in their mental health. Whatever the case may be, we are at an age where the internet gives us a ton of information. Alexa, Siri. I'm sorry. Alexa, I don't need you.
I don't know that one.
Oopsies. Well, regardless, we are at an age where we have a wealth of information available to us, and we're inundated. Let me use a big word. Inundated with information. And what do we do with it? We sit on it. We pretend like I know everything under the sun. I've got it all figured out. Let me tell you something. As a Duke graduate, class of 03, Blue Devil forever, I don't know, but the tip of the iceberg. I haven't got my master's degree. I thought about getting a JD MBA. I applied to be a Chicago Urban League Impact Fellow. I have sat on boards. I have filled in for CEOs on boards. I have done a lot of things. I held a Series 7 and 63. Who cares? Everybody has a ton of information, but how much do we sort through it and filter what we know? And is it the excuse that we don't have time? You have time for plenty. Cell phones nowadays used to be for phone calls and text messaging. We carry around mini computers with us. Whether you have a smartphone, whether you have a Galaxy Note, whether you carry a tablet like an iPad or an Amazon Kindle, Amazon. My kids have this, I forget what the kid thing is called, free time or whatever. We have so many options available to us as far as what we can do as people to gather information, but you must verify facts. So my question to you is, thank you, Tony, yes, smart devices, period. Motorola kind of died, but it didn't, but I think it's still around a little bit. But Motorola came up with smartphones. I had an early edition. I'm an early adopter. I love technology. We have this wealth of information available to us, but have we forgotten how to fact check? You got to go to an actual print book or take notes yourself if you're going to do anecdotal advice, and you have to gather multiple anecdotal pieces of evidence and gather it for peer review or whatever else. But this is how we verify facts and information. And guess what? What you should have realized by now is you can find whatever you want. If you want to believe that people are from intergalactia somewhere other else and really aliens on this earth, you can find it on the internet, and you can find evidence to support it. I mean, we've had congressional hearings to admit that there are most likely living beings in space that may be or may not be more advanced than us. Who knows? But what I will say is that you must verify your information with not one source, not two sources, not three sources, but be given the amount of information available on the internet, verify it with like 10 sources. It can't be that hard, because I know everybody uses Google. When people say Google me, bitch, it's not totally taboo anymore. When people ask their smart devices, whether it's their Google Nest or their, I don't want to say her name again, but you know who I'm talking about. Amazon made her. You can ask my Galaxy. I don't have Bixby set up, but I could ask Bixby. I don't want y'all listening to me use devices. I try to mute them sometimes. It's nice to get away and unplug, but I got kids, so I don't unplug. Hence, happy hour. It's time to take a sippy sip. We're 18 minutes in, and I'm talking about something that really aggravates me. So I'm going to remember to live every moment, laugh every day, shout out to Dollar Tree, love the glass, and love with all your heart. Because Love Inspired Teaching believes that the world needs more love. How do we produce that? We've got to inspire others, teach others, so that we all evolve to a better place outside of this freaking pandemic. I'm over it, y'all. Aren't y'all over it? I'm over the pandemic. I'm over these random shootings. I'm over the fact that people do not want to admit our emotional intelligence in America is far subpar, far below other nations. We are a young nation, relatively speaking. We're not the youngest anymore. But when it comes to superpowers, America is in a growing stage. We're in an evolution. We're in a revolution, whatever you want to call it. But when you're in a global pandemic and there's a war going on, Russia fighting over the Ukraine, a lot of mess is going on. A lot of mess. And the fact that you have relationships, to get back to my whole point, with people who are considered low and low class. How do we improve this situation, y'all? I do not want any more shootings occurring in my vicinity. You can own a gun. I'm not mad at people who own a gun, who have the right to carry. I'm not mad at the people who believe that every president is shit and a liar. I get it. Because guess what? Politicians have one of the toughest jobs out there. I would never want to be a politician because you have to make everybody happy. Oh, Justin said I got to call it the pandemic. I don't care if somebody planned it. What I care about is how do I get my money back? I want my money back. I am not earning compound interest the way I should. I'm an econ major, y'all. I don't play when it comes to my money. I like compound interest. If you understand compound interest, you can't get it back. Once I pull money out my retirement fund, I am losing compound interest. It's a sensitive and sore subject for me for so many reasons. So many. I won't go into all that. I'm focused on our low class, living in the forest, believing that the world owes them shit people. When the fact of the matter is, if you have kids, you figure out a way to get what they need. I don't care if you got $5 or 50 cents. Kids are our future and we make it happen for them. So if I want to take my kid to Great America, I should not worry about a drive-by shooting. So again, the question is, when it comes to respect and loyalty and just having decency and living by a code in America, where did we go wrong? Why do I no longer feel comfortable taking my child to Six Flags Great America and Gurnee? Because y'all want to do drive-by shootings. I don't care who made you mad. There is a limit. Do not go where the children and the old people are. If you're so smart, you can find your target away from the old people and the children and everybody in the public that's just trying to survive and breathe and have a good time before school gets back in session. Chicago Public Schools starts on Monday. The rest of y'all probably already started. But what I'm saying is, our relationships with these people that need good home training is not a hands-off relationship. It's not. It is not. And no, Justin, I don't agree that voting Republican is the answer, because the spectrum on the politics is you have your conservative Republicans, you have your more open-minded, freewheeling Republicans. They're supposed to meet in the middle. It's called compromise. That's why we all call them liars, because they have to compromise to get anything done at the state capitol. And then we get all pissy because they didn't follow through on their campaign promises. How do you follow through on campaign promises when there is absolutely no way to make everybody happy? Win-win, lose-lose, zero-sum game. If you were an econ major like me, you would understand. We all need to win, and if we're gonna all fight, we have to meet in the middle when we're done fussing and fighting at each other. You can't make everybody happy. If you know a way to make everybody happy, please share it in the comments. I would like to know. I'm waiting. I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to give us a commercial break because we're at 24 minutes approximately. You have to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and purchase some merch, because I am a mom of 2 children who have me spending money on school supplies, and we haven't made it to London and Paris yet. So if you are a woman or you know a woman who would like a LITE, Love Inspired Teach Baby t-shirt, they're available on the website or on Facebook as merchandise. I think the price on there is $40, but if you hit me up, I can hook you up. Minimum price $25. So thank you for watching. That offer is only tonight till midnight. I will give you a $25 t-shirt if you so choose to purchase. I accept PayPal, and I have Zelle, and I can figure whatever else out. We can work it out, okay? I can take cash money. I'll meet you somewhere safe. So that's my commercial break. I usually feature a nonprofit, and shout out to Kira, who will be on the Sisterly Love podcast on Thursday. She has it in her heart that she's seeing Michaela, your dog. She's seeing too many homeless people, so I told her we would support Feeding America, which helps the homeless in the food banks and supplying them with food. And I volunteered with them when I worked for the big Fortune 40 telecommunications company. I'll go ahead and shout them out because it's positive. Thank you, Xfinity Communities of Comcast and NBC Universal, for providing me and my family with so many amazing benefits. But back to the topic at hand. When it comes to your friends that are ratchet, bougetto, ghetto fabulous, from the hood, out of the mud, whatever you want to call it, how do we get them to understand that you have to live by a code, be on some type of respectable behavior? Even if you're in a gang, there's rules and codes to follow. They tear you up and build you back. They tear you down. Tear you down and build you back up. I have a positive mindset. I have to remind myself I have to go low and then go. If they go low, we go high. I'll be like, let me be down low so I can understand what the low people do. And then I'm going to teach them how to go high. But regardless, I don't care if you carry a gun. Let me stand behind you. And let me see if it's a real gun, though. I want to see. Does it got real bullets? You sure you got real bullets, not them rubber ones? Did you ever watch Crash? How is it that pharmacist or physician assistant, whoever that girl was, and her daddy owned the shop that kept getting broken into and he didn't fix his door properly? How is it he didn't know his daughter was buying him blanks? Come on, y'all. To all my FOIA carrying friends who've taught me so much, hey, if you follow me on Facebook, you saw I had a pretty hot red little number and an unloaded gun by someone who had a FOIA card or concealed carry. I'm sorry, different. Same? I don't know. I don't need a gun, y'all. You don't want me to have a gun. I'm a Taurus. Send me red flowers, but don't show me red flags. Ty, you jumping in at all? Are you just staying in studio today? I don't see any questions, so I'm just gonna keep going. I told y'all I visited Statesville. I was born in Joliet, Illinois. I always think Romeoville and Joliet, like Romeo and Juliet. I'm Black. I know plenty of people that have been to jail. I know plenty of people that have sold drugs, and I sold drugs legally. Everybody makes money. How you make it is not my business. What you do is what you do. I ain't mad at you. Take care of your family, take care of your kids. But don't be bringing a gun somewhere. I want to take my children. So again, how do we solve this problem with our angry chip on their shoulder? There are rich people with a chip on their shoulder. There are broke people with a chip on their shoulder. We are first world, third world. Where is the second world? Maybe that's where I need to be. But how do we get people to have some level of respectability? I don't believe in PC, politically correct, because y'all heard me curse a few times, right? You see I'm sipping. This week I am sipping. Yes, to Justin's point, I'm half Filipino. That is the third world. Scarcity mindset, yes, bitches. I keep everything. This is grandma's house. In case everything goes to shit in hell in the handbasket and the apocalypse is coming, you can come to my house and there's a cabinet full of food and we will work it out. We will put our brains together and come up with a solution. I don't know the solution to these crazy people. Let me give you another story, because I was trying to be nice to Roti Mediterranean Grill, which is based out of Chicago, Illinois, or Northbrook. I can't remember which one. But I got attacked, and I was like, these ghetto fabulous people are everywhere. This short, cute, she was Black. Let me just put it out there. African-American Black. Maybe she's Nigerian. I don't know. Tried to attack me at the Roti because I was hungry and crabby, and I get Aretha Franklin diva-ish when I'm hungry, y'all. Feed me regularly. I'm like a gremlin. Only it don't matter if it's midnight. Just feed me on a schedule so I don't turn into a gremlin. I want to stay soft and furry and cute. Okay? But she tried to attack me because I was grumpy because they had two screens and the TV, and they had changed the menu, and the kids' menu was not easy to read, and it was about to be rush hour. I was like, man, we should have went to Fig and Olive across the way, or we could have even have went to Earl's Kitchen, because I was over in Lincoln Park. If you don't know Chicago, Lincoln Park is a little shishi, nice, bougie area nearby the Old Cabrini Green. Now they call it Near North. Who the hell knows what Near North is? I know Old Cabrini. Cabrini's still there. Some people don't want to leave. I'm telling y'all. We all know people of the low end. Look at Eminem. Okay, so yeah. I was a high schooler in the 90s. I love some 90s rap, okay? R&B, rap, old school. I love music, period. I have some empath tendencies. It's tiring. But regardless, this chick tried to attack me. I know people that have come from crap situations. I know people have pulled themselves out of it. I know some people that drink their troubles away and will not stop drinking in my own family. I don't talk to those people. I try not to anyway. You know, they're family. You don't get to choose your family. You get to choose your friends. So why would I choose a friend that's going to bring a gun to Great America and drive by? Shoot. How do we fix this, guys? I'm tired of it. I want to be able to take my children out without being stressed and thinking I need to get a concealed carry license. State of Illinois, you need a concealed carry license. I was talking to my good friend Justin, and he was saying that Governor Pritzker's trying to send some law. Like, if you shoot somebody in the back, like let's say they run in and they quick turn around and shoot at you, and then they turn back around and you clip them in the back, you're at risk of dying and getting in trouble and getting the chair. I don't know. I might be being dramatic. But regardless, how do we fix this? I don't want to be a snitch, but I'm not having my children at risk. I think it's only fair that I can go places with my children and my grandmother, who's 88 years old, by the way, and enjoy them. Why do we not have loyalty to ourselves as people and knowing that everybody has struggles, everybody has problems? So again, I'm going to pose it to y'all. Give me questions in the chat or give me answers in the chat, because I'm really trying to understand, because I love these people. People get on me because I'm a friendly person. I don't like to cut people off. You must have really, really, really ticked me off for me to burn that bridge with you and cut your behind off. I have a friend, it took him a good 10 years to get back on speaking terms with me. And he ticked me off again. And I talked to him, but I'm real snippy with him. I believe that everybody can change, but they change at their own pace. But how do we get these people to stop shooting at the schools, stop shooting at the amusement park, and stop shooting in inappropriate spaces? I want to know. I have relationships with these people. I talk to them how they talk to me. I know how to code switch. I know I don't speak Ebonics well, and I don't speak Hood well, but I know how to get my point across. I was raised a certain way. I grew up in Naperville. I was born in Joliet, lived in Washington State, West Coast, shout out, West, whatever. That's supposed to throw out gang symbols anyway. I was thinking of Tupac when he was like, West Side. Well, that was still wrong. Y'all see, I'm not that chick. I'm not hood. And I know it. But what I want to know is, how can I get us to a place where we can take my kids somewhere and I'm not all stressed out about whether or not they're going to be safe? And then we got other crazy folk who don't know how to stop pestering other people. Like, you live in the hood, you don't make no money, and you just got a new job. Leave folks alone. I'm truly at a loss, y'all. I might even have to end the podcast early because I'm trying to talk about relationships with people, but I've got no answers. I've got no solutions. And I normally like to come on this show with positivity and solutions. And what is that time where they let you give their guns, where they let you turn in your guns? People can turn in their guns and not get in trouble. I forget what it's called. I know the police officers do it. Oh, let's talk about police officers. Some of them come from these backgrounds I'm talking about, and then they get a little taste of power and they abuse it. And then again, to go back to, people are frustrated when George Floyd was killed and he couldn't breathe. And then we have a whole list of names. Trayvon Martin. What's the Bland lady's first name? The list goes on. My ex, whose cousin died in Milwaukee. Guys, I just don't want there to be any more shootings. So I know people who know people that come from a rough and tough background. I know people who have pulled themselves out of the mud, pulled themselves out of economic distress. Let's talk about people who lived through the Holocaust and they still know how to have decency. Or let's talk about people who lived through slavery, like our grandparents that are like 80, 90 years old now. They still understand what decency is. They might be tired. And people know they could go to jail. People know they could die. They just don't care. So Justin saying actions have real consequences. But if you're ready to die at any moment, like, let's face it, there are some suicidal folks out there. There are people who don't care, who are so fed up with life. And I'll be honest, I have had some low moments in my life where I've been like, I hate everybody and everything because my parents don't love me. Woohoo. They love me. I've come to the realization they love me. They love me in a way that hurts. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you don't care about anything, you're going to bring a gun to Great America. You're going to bring a gun to school, and you're going to bring a gun on the airplane, or you're going to try to light the airplane up. But how can we convince y'all there is hope? If you don't believe in Jesus, do you believe in Buddha? Do you believe in Allah? What do you believe in? Y'all need to help me out. Because I just want to be able to take my kids to a park. I want to take my kids to a festival. I want to take my kids to a block party and not be concerned because my head wasn't on a quick swivel. I just want to understand why, if we give thousands of dollars to the Ukrainian people to make sure that Russia don't act up and try to make everybody communist and turn some Hitler type shit into the whole global universe, that I still have a safe space. Where are the safe spaces, y'all? I need to know, where are the safe spaces? And I'm not fucking moving out of Chicago. Sorry, Justin. I got 2 kids and I got 2 baby daddies to deal with, and one of them ain't moving. So we need to fix this. And Mayor Lightfoot, I know you're supposedly non-political and you came from private sector. You still seem very political to me. You're not my favorite. You're not my least favorite, but you're not that fantabulous. So again, what do we do, y'all? Get your uncle, get Pookie and them, get your GDs, Vice Lords. I don't even know gangs, y'all. Whatever the hell y'all are. Even out in the fraternities and sororities, y'all seem like a gang to me too. I just need somewhere besides my own flipping house to go and have a good time, because I'm tired of being in the house, y'all. Aren't you tired of being in the house? I'm sick of quarantine at home and stay safe at home. I don't remember all them dumbass names they gave it, but I don't want to do that no more. I'm a salesperson. I am friendly and marketing, and I go here and I go there and I do this and I do that, and I want to travel the world. Let me find somewhere safe. I don't need to go to Greece. I heard they acting up there, but I'm thinking about it. I don't need to go to Egypt. I heard they acting up there, but I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go wherever I want to go because I know God has to have me. I need to be fearless. But y'all, if you shoot up my child, I'm going to shoot you back. It's as simple as that. I'm just telling you. It's not a threat. It's not me being crazy. I am Mama Bear. I need safe spaces. How do we get them? How do we coach up our friends that hate life and hate the world and don't care about us? I just got to give them a whole bunch of money. I'm not rich like that, y'all. I want to be. I'm trying. That reminds me, commercial break. Like, subscribe, share. If you're watching the replay, I love you. You're awesome sauce, because you know what? This is happy hour and you might be at work. Ugh. You work overnights, you sleeping, and you had to catch the replay. I love you. Thank you for checking me out. Buy a shirt. Aren't they cute? I'm going to make some more that are not so loud, but I had to make sparkly ones at first. Shout out to my grandma. It actually says Learn, Inspire, Teach. First edition was a shout out to my grandma, who was an educator for many, many years. And she comes from a third world country where Imelda Marcos has all the shoes in the world, and they got all the monies and all the riches, and them people are poor. If you've ever seen the Filipino shanty towns, I was engaged to a Jamaican, and they called me a country girl because I had no problems pissing in the bushes. If I had to go, I had to go. I need a safe space to take my children. I need a safe space to take my grandmother, and I need a safe space for me to read my book. I'm reading Traveling Soul by Todd Mayfield and whoever's co-author is, and it's about his daddy, Curtis Mayfield, who was a black man in Chicago when they migrated, the Great Migration from the South to the North, and found that the difference between Southern racism and Northern racism is that Northern racism wasn't in your face. Southern racists will tell you you're a monkey on a porch in a hot second, whereas in the North, they'll just look at you funny and be like, go back across that railroad. Have you ever watched the movie Loving? I haven't gone to see Easter Sunday yet, y'all. Filipino Americans, that's my life. Let me tell you a story about my mom and when she was dating my dad, who adopted and raised me, but he is African American from Cali. Shout out to Berkeley, where he was born, but he was raised in San Jose. But shout out to the San Jose Fire Department. My grandfather was a battalion chief who had to fight to keep his battalion chief certification because they thought he cheated because all the white people failed and all the people of color passed. The world is nuts. But whatever the case may be, wherever you're from, I don't understand why I can't find a safe space for my children, for my grandmother, for myself to read a book and to get over the fact that, yeah, slavery lasted 200 years in America. It still goes on to this day. There is a whole underground trade of women. Let's face it. Child slave trade. People don't get respected, and the pandemic just made it clear and brought it to the forefront, but we always knew it was like that. How do we fix this, guys? I have no problem telling my friends that Black Lives Matter is not racist because Black Lives Matter and all lives matter, but you don't go to the cancer fundraiser for breast cancer talking about prostate cancer. Yes, everybody can die from a cancer and there's different kinds, but when we focus on one that is repeatedly and incessantly beat down and torn up, I'm sorry, but I think the fact that Black women, the whole hashtag protect Black women, I'm a Black woman. Protect me because you know what? I'm tired. I take care of a lot of people and I have Black sons. Black lives fucking matter. I'm not saying blue lives don't matter. Y'all matter too, but can we talk about how y'all be beating us down and killing us for smoking a cigarette in our own goddamn car? Or can we talk about blue lives matter? You beat your own wife in your house and your blue brothers protect you because it's a code you live by. I'm just saying, everybody fucking matters, but as a Black person, I'm tired of being low on the totem pole. So I'm sorry, Justin, you're not going to win that argument with me. I see your comments, but everybody matters. Fuck the Ku Klux Klan. Fuck everybody else that says, oh, but this and oh, but that. You're distracted from the simple basics of it. All humans matter, but some of us are treated worse than others. I'm not afraid to say it. I just went to a job fair today. Don't hire me because I'm telling you, some of us get treated worse than others, and I'm not one of them because guess what? I can pass. My hair is not as kinky as the rest of them. People are like, oh, are you Indian? No, I'm Black and yellow. What's that mean? I'm Asian, raised by the Filipino side, but the Black people are part of my heritage. I'm just saying, we have relationships with one another. I have hood cousins. I have educated cousins. I have cousins that know how to code switch just like I do. I have white people that are fucking amazing and supporters, and they know white trash people, and they may not be white trash people, but they're fucking amazing. I lived in Wisconsin. It's a swing state. You meet people who really think about the issues when you go outside your bubble. Let's diversify. How do I get you to think differently? I tell you, I love you. No matter who you are, where you come from, I am not a judgmental person. I want to inspire you. I want to teach you so we can all evolve so I can go to fucking Great America. Can I go to Great America and not have a drive-by? Can I go into any elementary school and not worry about that the white kids bringing a semi-automatic rifle or bringing a pistol, a shotgun? I'm not a gun person, y'all. All I'm saying is, let's stop pretending everybody's perfect. Nobody in this world is perfect. I don't know a perfect person, including myself. I tell my daughter all the time, God made us imperfectly perfect. Nobody's perfect. We've all got problems. First world, second world, third world. I don't care what world you're in. Problems are problems, and we're stressed out, and the pandemic has brought it to the forefront. Stop bringing guns in places they shouldn't be. So I'm sorry if I tick some people off. I'm sorry that this was a sensitive subject. I am, because I wish we could kumbaya, but we can't. In the meantime, I'm going to ask you to like, subscribe, share, continue the conversation, and support any organization that touches your heart, whether it's Feeding America, whether it is the Daniel Murphy Scholarship Foundation. I had a girlfriend that worked for the Daniel Murphy Scholarship Foundation. She now owns her own practice as an LCSW, licensed clinical social worker. And she mostly deals with people who have relationship issues and men who want sex from their wives that won't give it to them. Neither here nor there. She worked for the Daniel Murphy Scholarship Foundation. And I remember when I stayed at her house and she was like, girl, I'm dealing white girl, red hair, ginger, whatever you want to call her. Love her to death. Shout out to you. You know who you are. I want to shout out your business, but I didn't ask you first, so I'm not going to do that. But she's grown substantially over the years, and she hired my girlfriend. Hey, my kid's godmother. Well, she's a witness because she's not Catholic, but regardless. She worked for the Daniel Murphy Scholarship Foundation and told me, girl, I'm dealing with kids who get whipped with the extension cord. Like, yeah, I had welts from the belt buckle in my childhood for flipping the Monopoly board when everybody was cheating, and I got mad. So I flipped it and ran like the wind and still stuffed my pants with blankets. And so that's why my mom went for my thighs and I ended up getting hit with the belt buckle. I acted a plumb fool. I don't think getting off social media is the answer, Justin. You know why? There's always going to be people on social media. Zuckerberg is only one titan, but then, you know, Vine's not so popular anymore, but then you have YouTube, and then you have TikTok, and then you have Snapchat, and you have a new one popping up. I'm sure there's a new one, Clubhouse, and whatever. People are making money off of social media. You can't get away from it. You don't hide from your problems. You have to face them head on. You have to have communication and conversations. And I'm sorry, I'm unpopular at times because I will tell you what I really think and believe. And sometimes I'm going to code switch and be politically correct and not curse. And then other times I'm going to be like, fuck that bullshit. We can't have guns around my children. So I didn't do a lot of banners and stuff today. I don't have the best solution, but what I will say is go in your local community, find a way to volunteer, snatch up your hood friends, snatch up your white trash friends, and tell them, live by a code, watch The Wire, Omar the gay hood gangster who people would drop money at his feet. And shout out to Michael K. Williams because he did die of an overdose, but it was the guy with the scar who played Omar. But I need a safe space for my children. Every man's got to live by a code. If there's one quote I want you to get, shout out to HBO, shout out to The Wire, shout out to the fact that they don't continue shows incessantly just to make money. And shout out to Michael K. Williams and his family and those who struggle with addiction and illness. Maybe I should shout out, I think it's the Lighthouse organization. They're the ones that, for the Illinois Tollway, they're the ones that help you with any of your tollway issues. But I'm on my soapbox. I'm going to get off. I just need to tell y'all, we all need to love and respect one another. My whole company was created on the premise that, one, I like to talk, but sometimes people don't want to listen to me, so I started blogging. Then the pandemic hit, and everyone's like, pivot, do something different. I can run my mouth with the best of them, so I ended up podcasting. And I need to Shout out to Grey Goose. Thank you for making my cup the way it is. Grey Goose and vodka, I love you. You're not my sponsor, but I wish you were. And shout out to those who love and support me, my friends. So the other thing I'm going to say is I think the other solution is they need new friends. They need better friends who are going to love and accept them for who they are, who are not going to judge them, because you don't pick your family. You don't pick your parents, but you pick your friends. Make sure when your friends act up, you hem them up, you pull them to the side, whatever the hell you do, and say, Negro, please. Bitch, please. Homie, lover, friend, please. Do not pull out a gun. My ex told me he was in Florida and he was stressed out because his cousin pulled out a gun on somebody because they got in an argument at the Walmart or something. Y'all, I don't want to go to Florida because those people are ghetto fabulous as hell. I have some upcoming podcasts. My friend who I love dearly has a nonprofit event at the White Sox Stadium. What do they call it now? Guaranteed Rate Field. NoBats.org or .com, but they do a fundraising event, and they're basically people who have money or know people with money and fundraise and donate to various causes. He will be on the podcast. Shout out to Joseph Calvanico of J2C Valuation. Shout out to Charbel Shamoon, who's been on here. He's on the board for an amazing organization. Check out the podcast he was on. Shout out to William Hicks of Hicks Real Estate Investments, I believe. Shout out to all my friends who love and support me and know when my edges are starting to show and life is beating me down. And I'm trying to say, I want to be positive. I want to have that mustard seed of hope that grows into a full blooming plant. But I need us to hem up our friends that believe snitches need stitches and that don't understand that there are some places that need to be sacred. And I think a school should be among them, and I think an amusement park should be among that. And I don't have all the answers. I'm as smart as people tell me I am, but other days I feel like a blonde airhead because life is exhausting. I love my kids. I love my family, even if I have to hold them at arm's length because they hurt me deeply. And I like to have a good time. It's a happy hour podcast, but this was not the most pleasant of topics. Don't shoot up Six Flags Great America. I'm going to go there in the next month. Please don't. And I'm tired, y'all. And I went 52 minutes. I went as long as I could. I don't have the answers. I don't. And I'd love for you guys to comment and share with me your thoughts. I hope you're enjoying a happy hour drink. I hope you're networking. I'm hoping you're with friends who love you enough to tell you when you're wrong and when you're right, or to tell you that they love you no matter what you choose. Life is about choices, and we all get to choose who we love, who we inspire, who we teach, and we choose whether or not we involve or stay in the mud and stay in the bottle or stay addicted to the white powdery stuff or stay addicted to TV or stay addicted to sex. I don't care what you're addicted to. I know that you're trying to find happiness, but please don't be killing mine. Don't kill my happiness. Let's love on one another. Let's inspire one another. Let's teach one another so that we can all evolve. And I sincerely want you to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the notification bell and let me know what you want me to talk about next week. Okay? Thank you guys. Have a great night. I'm sorry I could only get to 53 minutes, but this was a tough topic, and I'm just tired of having to advocate for simple things that we all need. So I hope you'll give me a little grace in ending early, and I hope that you have a wonderful night. But thank you for your time. I respect you. I love you. And if I've ever offended you, I do apologize. That's not my intention. And just set me straight. I'll do my best not to take it personally. Have a great night. I gotta go. My daughter needs me.